All right, we're going to learn today. We're going to learn today. I thought to myself, look, Arsenal women, we ain't got a manager right now. Well, we ain't got a permanent manager right now. Why ain't there no big things talking about like who's next? What's the targets? It's the same thing what I'm talking about, blood. It ain't us. You have to go digging. You have to go looking for something. You get me? And I found something. So we're gonna talk about. I think it's the top 10 targets for Arsenal women who gonna be the next top manager. Let's talk about it, and I'd love to hear what you guys gotta say down in the comments. You heard me? It's St. Jersey. Don't forget to like and subscribe, man. We building around here.
Gooner on the sofa. Proud of North London. Gotta represent. And I'ma tell you one thing.
What's up, people? Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel.
All right, people. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to go down this list here. I quickly flew through it to see if I knew anybody. I don't know. I knew a couple. I think I knew two. I knew two, and one's Renee. Get me? So, all right. Let's do this. Casey Stoney, Nick Cushing, and 10 candidates to replace Jonas as the Arsenal women's manager. After the defeat to Chelsea, continue the poor start. The Gunners head coach resigned this week. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, this is an old article, but at least it's still giving you people. Yeah, so here we go. First up, Martin. Oh, sorry, bro. Can't have you, brother. That's almost playing there. We can't have you, King. We can't have that. Sorry, just the name alone. You hear me? Come on. Hold. Come on, bruv. No disrespect. You can't be judging people on their names. He might come in and we go ho 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 all the way to Christmas and back, baby. But goddamn, talk about slap you in the face. But anyway, Martin Hull. Arsenal look to the Scandinavian for Jonas. Could they look there again for his replacement after building quite a strong reputation for himself as an assistant coach at Man United? The Englishman Martin Hull, he's English. Where do you get that last name from? The Englishman Martin Hull has only enhanced that since taking over Norwegian side Braun. Many were impressed with how Hull set up his team in last season's Champions League campaign, in which they won 4 of 6 group stage matches and only lost 5-3 on aggregate to the reigning and eventual champions Barcelona in the quarterfinals. Braun didn't just sit back in a low block against big teams. They was as adventurous as they could be without shooting themselves in the foot, and showed moments of real positivity on the attack, which helped secure a particular impressive 2-2 draw against Lyon, the 8-time winners. However, it does feel like more experience as a head coach would be beneficial for Hull before he is ready to go for a job like Arsenal. At 34 years old, he does appear to be on the right track. Yeah, 34. You say that though. That was I like that. That was good to know about him. You know what I mean? That was good to know about him still. But his age ain't nothing. That brother at Brighton now, I'm sure he's younger than that. Ain't he 31? Get me? Younger than that. All right. Carla Ward. Carla Ward has gradually progressed through the women's game in the last few years, doing an impressive job with second-tier Sheffield United, guiding relegation favourites but Birmingham City into safety in the top flight, and then helping Aston Villa secure the best ever finish in the WSL. Sorry, something just popped up there. After leaving Aston Villa at the end of last season, Ward added another impressive experience to her CV by spending the summer as part of Emma Hayes' staff on the United States national team at the Olympic Games as they won a gold medal. She will have learnt so much from that time in France. However, while she's clearly a very promising young English coach, it feels like there is another step forward to take before she secures a job like the one at Arsenal, as it's a big gap from Villa. Yeah, I hear that, but again, nice little bio right there. You get me? Nice little bio right there. But again, that's so far, that's 2 like assistant coaches, no? That you're trying to push on we. So no, they got to still do a little bit more. I say assistant, but little bit. You know what I mean? Little bit. Do more. Gotta do more. All right, number 8. Tony Gustafsson. Is that how you say it? Let's just call him Tony. Could this vacancy be the one that brings Tony back to the football club? I knew I heard that name before. The 51-year-old has a lot of impressive experience, having been assistant coach of the United States women's national team for the Olympic gold medal. What? So Carla was just on staff. Is that what that said? Yeah, she was just part of Emma Hayes' staff. All right. So, sorry, just to make sure. Having been assistant coach of the United States women's team, national team for the Olympic gold medal and back-to-back World Cup triumphs Okay. So he was there. And in the club game, he also led a star-studded Toriso side to a first, whatever that says, title and the 2013-14 Women's Champions League final, where they were only defeated 4-3 by the reigning champions Wolfsburg. It's hard to pinpoint whether or not Tony would fit Arsenal's philosophy in terms of players he would best utilize and the style he would implement, because it's 10 years since he worked for a significant period in a club game, which is much less restrictive. Was that restrictive than international football? There was positives from his most recent job with Australia, as evidenced by semi-final at the Olympics and World Cup, but also questions raised about how his team eventually lost their way at the year's games. If Tony does decide to come back into the club game, it'd certainly be interesting to see how he fares. However, while not impossible, a move to Arsenal leans more to an unlikely side of the scale. He's not the Tony that I'm thinking about. And it said back to club football, not back to the club. I thought it said back to the club. I was going to say the dude I'm thinking of was grey-haired when he was at Arsenal. So it couldn't have been him unless he dyed his hair. Anyhow, we got Miss Reen. Here she is, the woman that's in charge right now. Reen is different to most coaches that take up intern roles, because she has significant experience as a head coach, making her a more realistic candidate for the full-time job than the temporary fix often are. Okay, so she's just overqualified to just be holding down forts right now. When Jonas left Rosenborg back in 2021 to join Arsenal, it was Reen who took over. In 2 full seasons, she secured back-to-back titles and won the Swedish Cup and reached the Champions League quarter-final. Whether or not she emerges as a serious contender for Arsenal's job depends on a few things. One is whether or not the club wants something quite different to Jonas, and following that, how similar the Gunners hierarchy believes that Reen is to the former boss. While she is her own coach with her own philosophy, she has worked in his staff for 2 stints now, having also done so at Rosenhag. Yeah, so they might want to just but she's already played differently already. As intern, Reen has an opportunity to influence the latter. Sensibly, she didn't make many changes in her first game in charge, opting for consistency given the circumstances. But the longer she is in the dugout, the more she will be able to make a bit of a mark. The question is whether she'll be there long enough to really show the coach that she is, or whether Arsenal find an external candidate that they really like quite quickly. I like her so far. You know what I'm saying? As a coach, from what I've seen, from watching the girls play, watching them play, and watching her on the bench, I like her already more than Jonas. Can't front. My only problem right now is you just let Jonas spend dough. He just start bringing in gal in. You get me? You let him get rid of Viv. You know what I'm saying? Even though I heard she just gone under the knife again. Something wrong with her knee. You know what I'm saying? So she might be a little, it might be the end. She might just be injury prone now. But all of that shit, you let that happen and then you sack him. Come on, man. Come on. You get me? But Miss Reen sits there at number 7. Mark Parsons. You see him there? Mark Parsons, for a long time, Mark Parsons was regarded as one of the best coaches in the women's game. After cutting his teeth at Washington Spirit, the Englishman enjoyed a remarkable 4-year stint in the Portland Thorns, winning a major title every season. His teams always had one of the best defensive records in the league, and they managed to achieve that without sacrificing too much in attack, remaining among the NWSL's top scorers each year. However, things haven't gone particularly well for Parsons since he left that role in 2021. The opportunity with the Netherlands looked exciting, but he ultimately seemed to lack chemistry with the squad. Used to coaches who were to the point, and his return to the US, the Spirit were disappointed. His only season ending without a playoff finish. With the right fit, this title-winning coach can bring success to the club again. Is that club Arsenal? He feels more suitable than others. That sounded good. Except for the end of that story didn't sound too sexy. You know what I mean? He sounded like he was beautiful. Mwah. Went over to the Dutch to play real things I go on around, yeah. Couldn't vibe. Couldn't get to the point, blood. Couldn't do total football. Went back and it's looked like he scarred a bit. You get me? You're looking like he's scarred a bit, so I don't know. I don't know if he can run. You know what I mean? I don't know. But he sounds like the good one. And like this could be a blip. He just needs to just shake that off real quick and then get right to it. But we shall see. Next up, we got Nick Cushing. Is that how you say his name? Nick Cushing? There are a lot of reasons why Nick Cushing would be a good choice as Arsenal's next head coach. When Manchester City became a professional top-flight team, he was the man tasked with building a title-winning team from the ground up, and he certainly did that. Departing in 2020, having won 4 major honours, including the WSL, and having reached 2 Champions League semi-finals, he has the credentials. However, there is a style of play Arsenal are associated with, and one has to doubt whether or not Nick would suit the club in that sense. At Manchester City, he was adaptable manager, one happy to play more on the counter and allow the opponent to dictate possession if it would increase the chances of success. There are also the fact of his current job. Cushing has been head coach of MLS side New York City since the start of the 2023 season, and he appears to be building something good there. It feels like it would have to be an attractive proposition to pull him away from that if indeed Arsenal or any other club for that matter was interested in his service. Yeah, he knows the league. He knows how to win. Yeah. I don't know, man. I feel like everything is changing into something that don't make no sense. That it's almost clubs are now going into the illusion that fans and supporters once have about our style of play, Arsenal style of play, West Ham style of play, Liverpool style of play. There ain't no style of play. You man got your style of play from your manager. That's why it doesn't make any sense to me. These new ways of doing things don't make no sense. You're just gonna get in a manager, so there's gonna be no such thing as a top manager anymore, because all you need is someone to come in and press the buttons to the beat how you want it pressed. I don't even understand how anyone can be any different. That doesn't make any sense. If you're going to do that, me and Jose Me, Jose Mourinho, me, Sir Alex are all on the same page. But then again, them man are like they're the vets that they're trying to get out. And me and anyone that signs, any manager that signs from January of 2025, I can do your job. I can do your job. Your job is to go into a club and do what the club tells you to do. So if the club tells you play attacking football, that's what you have to do, because that's our club style of play. That's stupid. You're not going to have the best manager then, are you? That doesn't make any sense. I know the old way seems weird now that you could. It only seems weird now when it goes wrong. So you get a manager in, he starts buying people for his style of play, the way he wants to play, and then 2-2s, you sack him. Now you got all these players for that style of play. You go and get another manager with a different style of play, and now this don't work. These players don't work for him. I understand that, but that teaches your backsides, clubs, owners, not to be sacking man quick, you know what I'm saying? And that teaches football as a whole not to be putting money up this high. Players you shouldn't be costing 100 million. That's what your backside get. You know what I mean? That's what your backside get. The most expensive player should be 10 million, blood. And we should be like, God damn, at that. It's getting ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? It's getting ridiculous. And if there is any other money to go around, give it to your players then, innit? Stop just making things more expensive for the sake of it. It's ridiculous. But he's one of them that if he comes in, he seems like he's a Mourinho type in the women's game. Mr. Nick, he come in and do it his way. You know what I mean? He want to play attacking. I don't mind letting them have the ball. As soon as they don't have the ball, bam, goal. You know what I mean? Bam, 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 goal, title. I'm not mad at that. I am not mad at that. I'm personally of that ilk of you hire someone to do it their way because they've got the gift. You're just gonna hire someone. I don't even know what they're doing if they're not doing it in their way anymore. It doesn't make any sense. Get me? It doesn't make it. There's only so many ways that, you know, like if, like as a PT, if someone said we're only doing lat pull downs, that's our style of back work. Like we don't do rolls and all them shits there. Just do lat pull downs. But you can do what you want. Other than single hand, making it slower, you know what I mean? That kind of shit. It's the same thing. Let me use the gym, bruv. Why you let me use the gym and let me use the gym? I've got ideas, but you're telling me this, that way, and that way. Now go and do what you want. But with what within this cage? That's some foolishness, man. Don't like that. And that's coming from a creative brain. You can't say that to me. Can't tell me there's X amount of paintbrushes in the world, but I gotta use a toothbrush to make art. Like if I've only got that, no one around for support and help, I've only got a toothbrush and I'm like, fuck, you know, I could make something work here. That's me making my mind make something work. You don't come to me and say, here's a cup, make wine glass. Who are you, blood? You make the wine glass. That ain't my idea. You know what I mean? That ain't my idea to make no wine glass. My idea would be what? Knock off the handle maybe. Make a dip in here, smooth that out. So I could blow in the tea before. All that kind of shit. You want to come and give me your idea. You do it yourself then, innit? That's what I'm saying. Silly. Mini rant. I apologize. Number 4. Casey Stoney. When Jonas Eidevall was announced, one of the first names that came to mind for most of the Arsenal coach. When Jonas's departure was announced, one of the first names that came to mind for most as the next Arsenal coach was Casey Stoney, a former player, thus someone who knows all about the demands of the club. Stoney helped guide Man United to the top flight, develop them into a team that could mix it with the WSL elite and then enjoy impressive success in the US with San Diego Wave, winning 2 major titles in 2 seasons before being surprisingly sacked mid through her 3rd year. It's fair to say that Arsenal forward Elisa Russo enjoyed the best form of her career to date when playing for Stoney at United and reunited the England star with the coach who appears to know exactly how to play to her strengths would be one of the most attractive things about her appointment. Stoney also has a reputation of making her team defensively strong, which Arsenal could certainly use given how frequently they have been leaking goals as of late. However, there are questions about whether she could also bring the expansive style of play that the table that the Arsenal as a club demands. Stoney's success as a manager to date has been built on strong foundations rather than mesmerizing attacking play. Regardless, BBC Sport have somewhat surprisingly reported that Arsenal are not currently considering Stoney for the role, despite the Times understanding that the former England defender would be open to the opportunity and her various suitable traits. Not bad. I liked that little paragraph there. That was nice. But I wouldn't hire her just because she can get the best out of Russo. You know there's other players there, right? What about Black Stinny? You know there's other. You know, you get me. Come on now, behave yourself. You know what I mean? We got babies coming through. Are you good with the babies? Because I want to see them. Keep coming through, blood. You know what I mean? We got class coming through. You know what I mean? So can you do it? I wouldn't say no to a former Gooner. You wanna dig me? I said Rachel Yankee and fucking Alex Scott. You know what I mean? I don't know if Alex Scott got her badges and that, but I put her in there, blood. She will bring heat to it, blood. Coming there with your Champions League medal. Say something. Say something. In third place, they got this lady right here. Miss Laura Harvey, 12 years on from 3-season stint at Arsenal as Arsenal head coach. Could Laura Harvey return to North London following Jonas's exit? She's certainly someone who knows the club well, having spent 2 years in various roles before taking over the first team, with whom she delivered 6 major honours before departing for the United States. Across the pond, Harvey's success was continued. The 3-time NWSL Coach of the Year has won 3 NWSL shields across 2 spells with the Seattle Reign, which has been separated by time in charge of the Utah Royals and the US Under-20 Women's National Team, while the NWSL Championship continues to enjoy Harvey and while the NWSL Championship continues to elude Harvey and Seattle, with them finishing runners-up again last year. It would always feel like the pair have unfinished business together. But could the coach be tempted by a new challenge after so long in the NWSL? She can play exciting football and has the pedigree and the experience to be a fit for Arsenal again. Ooh. I think I'm leaning towards Miss Harvey right now. Out of that, when it's just coming off these little paragraphs, quick little synopsis, as they say, quick little bits and bobs. I'm voting for Miss Laura right now. Number 3. I don't know if they're going in. It's going to get better from here. I don't know. But definitely Miss Laura. She won with us before. She kept winning after she left. And now she got a little war going on over there in America. You know what I'm saying? She's done hit the international a little bit with the younger team, let it be known. But still under 20s. You know who's going up next. Yeah, man. It plays exciting football. Yeah, I like that, Miss Laura. You're getting my vote. You're getting my vote right now. Number 2, Luis Cortez. An attractive playing style. A manager who has won big titles. Cortez ticks both of those boxes. The former Barcelona boss led led Barcelona to their first women's Champions League crown back in 2021, and may have since fallen off the radar for some due to the far left field spells in charge of the women's national team in Ukraine and now in Saudi Arabia. Cortez only signed his contract with the latter back in December 23, and it is one that doesn't run out until 2027, so it would not be cheap to buy him out. Or furthermore, would his head be turned by another club so soon into this one? It seems so unlikely. It seems an unlikely move, but there's no doubt that he would suit the job at Arsenal. He did great at Barca, but that don't mean nothing. You get me? That don't mean nothing. Do your thing, bruv. Do your thing. You know what I mean? And number 1 on this list, Alexandra Spugner. Alexandro Spugner. If Arsenal want a coach who can win titles and also play a brand of football that suits the club, what about Alexandro? The 50-year-old has done an absolutely brilliant job with Roma since taking over in 2021, helping them surpass Juventus as the dominant force in Italian women's football and in style. After finishing second in his first season in charge, Roma since won back-to-back Serie A titles, Coppa Italia and the Italia Super Cup, all while asserting themselves on the European stage as much more quickly than most would have anticipated. Alessandro's bold attacking style has made it more remarkably entertaining too, and he and his staff have cooperated brilliantly to ensure every signing suits what he wants to be. What he wants to be to the T. Sorry, I thought I said tree. That didn't make no sense. Everything about Roma, the success, the playing style, the makeup of the squad feels at least similar to what Arsenal would like to strive towards. And Alessandro has been central to all of that. His name has not been mentioned much with regards to the Gunners' vacancy, but it's hard to pick out flaws that would stop him being a great fit if considered. All right, he's definitely number 1 for me. He's number 1. Laura's number 2. I don't know if I'd go with this guy just because of that Barcelona little stint there. And Stoney, fuck it. That's me. That's me. I'll go for Alexandro, number 1. Laura, number 2. And Stoney, number 3. That's my top 3 candidates. And if I want to fling in names that I know won't make it, Rachel Yankee and Alex Scott to make it a top 5. That's my top 5 right there, people. Give me your top 5. They don't have to have been in that. Just give me your top 5. And we will talk about that down below. You heard me? St. Jersey. Don't forget to like and subscribe, people. You dig me? Big yourself up each and every time. I'm out of her. I'm gone. Gooner, stand up. It's a song.
G.o.t.s. Gang gang. What's up, people? Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel.